Bologna in Group D. Well, there are some hopeful fans here in Strasbourg, but they know that their team has not performed as they really needed to solidify their playoff chances. And right now, they are on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. More on that in a minute. Already in Group D today, Besiktas winning over Ostend. That actually helps SIG Strasbourg. And Prometheus Patras will take on Neptunus Klaipėda later as well in this game day. And that will be an important one that no doubt SIG Strasbourg will be hoping Prometheus goes ahead. And the reason why, because of the standings, and that picture right there is worth 1,000 words, that SIG mascot, because as you look at the standings, you've got SIG in 6th place. And at 6-6, they're tied with Neptunus, but Neptunus win the head-to-head over them if they finish tied, because they won both of their encounters. Obviously, Ostend, with that loss tonight, become more vulnerable. They've still got some work to do. No disgrace for them losing at a red-hot Besiktas. But SIG Strasbourg, when you look at the results and the head-to-heads, they lose the head-to-head when they go up against Neptunus, and against Ostend they lost the first one at home by 3, and they will finish up their season with them next week. For Segafredo Virtus Bologna, where they're flying high, for Stefano Sacropani, Amath Mbai, Brian Quali, Pietro Aradori, Dejan Kravic, Capelletti Baldirossi, Tony Taylor, Alessandro Paiola, Kevin Punter. It's a talented team, but it's not one that is unbeatable. We saw them lose last week at home to Besiktas, although it was one of the most thrilling games of the season. Certainly, it was one of the most thrilling final quarters of the season. Segafredo Virtus Bologna almost came back from a huge deficit to win. For SIG Strasbourg tonight, Marty Collins, Ludovic Behers, Quentin Serron, Gerald Eddy, Enzo Lee, Mike Green, Nicola Lang, Goulmy, all playing for coach Vincent Collet. Virtus will be looking to get back to winning ways tonight. For the most part, for the early stretch, the early part of the season, they look like the best team in the league. But now they are 9-3, and you know they've got to win tonight to get that feel-good factor back. They could finish with the same record as Besiktas and Prometheus, but Segafredo Virtus Bologna, if you look back at their results, they lost 71-70 last week to Besiktas, but the first meeting they won 94-90, so they win that head-to-head. As for Prometheus, Virtus Bologna in that meeting won it by 10, the first encounter back on November 21st. And they will finish up their season next week at Prometheus. So if Prometheus were to win their game, then it could come down to a head-to-head. If Prometheus were to win, they would need to win by that goal differential, so they'd have to make up 10 points. So that being said, Virtus look like they're in a pretty good place right now in terms of finishing first. For SIG Strasbourg, have they underachieved? I think most people would probably say yes, they have in their own eyes, and probably on the outside looking in. Certainly in recent times, falling by 13 at Prometheus last week. The week before that, losing at home to Neptunus 90-80. The week before that, losing at home to Besiktas 69-64. So they've lost 3 consecutive games. But if they win tonight and then they win their final game next week at Ostend, they will like their chances of getting into the playoffs. Well, the SIG Strasbourg fans certainly believe. So Ludwig Bayhurst, the backup point guard, comes running onto the floor. Marty Collins, Gerald Eddy. Player's got NBA experience. Jeremy Nzuli, the Cameroon international. Mike Green, who was the Final Four MVP last year for Ike. They beat Murphy in the semifinals, and then he was the MVP in the big win over Monaco. Ali Traoré, the veteran. And Florent Pietrus also in this Strasbourg team. You know, how important is Youssef Fall tonight? Well, he's huge. I mean, every player is crucial tonight for this SIG Strasbourg team. And it's got to be an effort of 40 minutes, all guns blazing. They can't let up against Virtus, because if they do, they'll be punished. See Tony Taylor and Marty Collins exchanging pleasantries before the game, and also the referees for tonight's game. Spain's Antonio Conde in the middle, Janis Chalik from Poland on the left, and Vintislav Velikov from Bulgaria on the right. So you do have to finish in the top 4 of your group to advance to the playoffs. And Segafredo, Virtus, Bologna, well, they've already clinched their place at 9-3, and they're at the top of Group D. Besiktas, who have just been moving from strength to strength, they have won tonight already. Tony Taylor, Kevin Punter, Kelvin Martin, Amath Mbai, and Yannick Morea, who joined recently from Pout in the starting 5 for Virtus Bologna. Offensively, they just could not get it going last week, and they dug themselves a hole that they just ultimately did not climb out of. Stefano Sacropante is the coach. Now, Virtus did have a chance to win last week's game after trailing about 20-plus points, and they had the last possession of the game, and Kevin Punter ended up with the ball with a couple of seconds left. He was behind the arc, he was right on the arc, so he attempted a three-pointer but missed it, and Besiktas left Bologna with their arguably the most important win of the season. For Vincent Collet, the SIG coach is going to start with Mike Green, Saron, Collins, Eddy, and Fowl. See the great crowd behind across the court cheering on SIG tonight. Well, the turnout suggests that the SIG fans have not given up hope of finishing the regular season strong and getting to the playoffs. They are probably as important as anybody, as the players themselves tonight. They need this. They need this team. They need this crowd to be loud tonight. Strasbourg in 7th place in the French top flight, LNB. And in Italy, Segafredo versus Bologna are in 8th place at 9-8. Good evening, folks. Welcome to Strasbourg, France. This is the Basketball Champions League, and it's first place in Group D. Virtus in the white taking on SIG Strasbourg in 6th, and Strasbourg come out firing. It's Eddie who buries a long three-pointer. Here's Martin. And by, don't forget, number 24 in the last window played for Vincent Collet, who's the coach of the French national team in the World Cup qualifiers. So he'll be eager to put in a good performance tonight to show that he wants to have a chance to make it to the World Cup. There's foul getting the block on Taylor. Great start for the home team. The drive and the basket is good by Mike Green. Well, the focus certainly looks like it's there in this first minute for SIG. Punter pulls up at the line. Good. Saron, the Belgium international, guarded by Punter. He puts it up from deep, brings a little bit of rain, but it's off the front of the rim. Morea, and his attempt rebounded by Collins. Yannick Morea, one of the most important players in that Angola national team setup. A lot of national team players playing in the Basketball Champions League. Martin picks up the foul. Mike Green picks up the ball over to Eddie. His second attempt no good. Foul, keeps it alive, gets it back, puts it up. Draws the foul from Morea. Florent Pietrus and Jacques Alingue watching tonight's proceedings from behind the bench. Foul, and this is the first. Youssef Fowles made the team of the week a couple of times this season in the Basketball Champions League. He's been up and down. Here's Mbaye. Talked about him being a France international, so chance to play in front of his fellow Frenchmen and women. Foul makes the second. And that is a bench right there that is in tune with what's going on. That's a good sign. Players on the edge of their seats. Taylor, when he gets it going, he's tough, and he gets it going. I think when the game is on the line, Tony Taylor, you want him on your team. Collins gets it to foul, and Punter reaches in, knocks it away from Youssef Foul. Now Punter from deep. Saron pushes it quickly. Now Collins attacks, gets in the lane. Great signs early on here for the home team, being aggressive offensively. Taylor. 2 shots coming for the Virtus point guard. Foul called on Green, little reach. First one is good from Tony Taylor. Sacripanti doesn't want to see his team dig itself a big hole like they did last week at home against Besiktas early. Taylor, born in Sleepy Hollow, New York. Wonder if there are any headless horsemen roaming around up there. Now, ball batted by Martin. Defensively is where he excels. Now he drives in, misses the shot. Foul, hustle back, and got the rebound. You really have to watch. This Virtus team turns it up a notch defensively. When they want to play D, they can really get after you. Conton Saron to Eddie. Here's Morea, saw the pass coming. Mbai over to punter. Count it! Tie game. Yusuf a foul. Over to Green. Now the reach from behind by Morea, the second consecutive time getting the steal, Morea. And it's passed to Mbai. And then foul. Well, they called a foul on him for going for the ball, but he kind of got a lot of head there. That was the good side of Yusuf a foul. Here's punter. Going to work on Saron. Good D by Saron. Good hands by Saron. Shot clock winding down. Taylor's got to launch it. He does get it off, and great rebound by Eddie. Marty Collins gets the nice pick from foul, who goes in, tries to dunk it, but missed. Well, right idea. And in it goes, the alley-oop pass and dunk from Martin. Great pass by Taylor. Collins spins, puts it up. Beautiful play from Marty Collins. Taylor, high arcing shot, and Inzoli has it knocked away by Mbai. Excuse me, Collins does. And that is going to hurt him as Taylor drills the three-pointer. Eddie left open. Great rebound, foul, puts it up. Oh, he got blocked by Morea. Boy, this is Morea's best game so far for Virtus. I think he's got 3 blocks already, just in the first quarter. Or no, he's got a block and 2 steals. Here he is in the lane. And Morea, a short little one-handed jumper. Beautiful pass and finish. Yeah, Morea does have 2 blocks and 1 steal to go with his 2 points. Mbai backing up Eddie. Short little jump hook, and Marty Collins with the rebound. Eddie from the left corner. Eddie was fouled by Amath Mbaye. So a chance for a 4-point play. Quali comes into the game. There's Mbaye cursing his luck. Also Adadorian, number 21. And Eddie does indeed get a 4-point play. So he's got 7 points to lead all scorers. Taylor whips the pass to Quali. Boy, a tough move from Quali. If he catches it that low, that's awfully difficult to stop. Bayhurst in as well for Green at point guard. Got a 3-guard lineup. Here's Quentin Serron. And there for the follow was Traore, and he was fouled by Tony Taylor. Well, this is a game. This is a matchup. Quali's a very good player, no doubt about it. He was terrific with EV Basket's Oldenburg, and now it's a big matchup against Traore. Obviously, very experienced. Payola in the game as well, the teenager for Virtus. Traore turns, goes on the baseline. Angeli snuck in for the rebound. Passed it back out. Collins. Mbaye called for the foul, wrapping up Ali Traore. So he's going to take a seat. Balderossi, Filippo Balderossi checks in. Traore makes the first one. So far, so good for SIG, who have tied it up at 17. I'll make it 18-17. Payola. What a debut in the Basketball Champions League he's had this season. Great experience for the youngster. Taylor misses in the paint. Long. Bounce pass, beautiful play. Another finish from Ali Traore, and they're making the right plays. The double team comes. Somebody's got to be open. Payola just 19 years of age. Eldori puts it up and is fouled by Inzuli. That's a great pass. I mean, Long is known for his spot-up shooting from three-point range. Nzuli, the Cameroonian, picks up the foul. Marty Collins listens to Coach Collet. Strasbourg haven't a team. They're not a team that's gotten it done in the postseason, the playoffs in the Basketball Champions League the last 2 times. But they've been pretty decent in the regular season. But now they need to turn things around here. They need to get a win tonight and next week to get to the playoffs. Nzuli drives in. Good hustle from Traoré to save it, and it's a three-point play. That's what extra effort does. It was Long who hit the three-pointer. Oh, no, I think they've ruled it a 2. Now, had Traoré not saved that, obviously, you know, that's not, I guess he gets the assist for that, but it's a huge effort play for Strasbourg. Punter going up against Long, over to Aradori. The Italy international hits the jumper from long way out, but inside the arc. So that cuts the deficit back to 1 point. Oh, no, actually, are they going to say, okay, 22 apiece, excuse me, folks, at the end of 1. Saying it was a three-pointer. I thought thought it was well inside. Anyway, Strasbourg 6 of 12 inside the arc. Bologna 5 of 12. Bologna with 3 of 4 from three-point range. One of those 2 three-pointers from Strasbourg, well, both of them were made by Jarrell Eddy, and one of them was a 4-point play. Here's some of the highlights from the first quarter. Also in action right now, Group B at halftime. Telekom Baskets Bonn on top of Una Holon in Germany, 49-45. Bonn were very impressive last week. Antwerp just throttling Dijon 36-20. Luka Merthier knotted with MHP Riesen-Lewisburg rather at 11 in Spain. And we've got this game going on at the end of the first quarter. Ludovic Bayhurst, 20 years of age, number 3 for SIG, guarding Payola. And now Punter has hit a three-pointer and been fouled by Nzuli. Turnabout's fair play. Look at this. Well, he's such a good shooter. You got to get a hand in the face, and that is the problem that you have is how close do you get? So Punter gets the 4-point play back. And boy, good pressure from Virtus, almost forcing the turnover. Collet barking on the sidelines, excessive contact. Traoré misses and Balderossi rebounds it. Now Payola has the ball mid-court. Nobody picks him up, and he goes in for the layup. And Collet calls timeout to disrupt that rhythm. Oh, a 4-point play and then a wide open layup.
C'est ce que je dis là-bas. Là, il y a une erreur ici entre les deux. Mais toi, la balle est là, il y a pick and roll, tu dois déjà être là. C'est pas possible qu'il aille là. T'as pas besoin de sortir, tu es en protection. D'accord? Faut que tu te décales. On fait ce qu'on a demandé, d'accord? Donc, on fait vraiment la montée et après tu le prends comme ça, Jérémy.
Collet able to 5 steals. Boy, that's a telling statistic, isn't it? And pick and roll, not. Nobody picked up Payola as he came around. Just 19 years of age. Love to highlight that because what an extraordinary opportunity it is for someone like Payola to be able to play in a continental competition like this. Valuable experience. And now the full court pressure does force the turnover. And that is a bad turnover for SIG coming out of a timeout. Adadori. And Traoré comes in for the rebound. But that is going to be an issue, it appears, for SIG Strasbourg. You might have to get Mike Green back in there. Jarrell Eddy for 3. Balderossi goes to work. Long picks up his first. Saron and Green are indeed back in. And Bayhurst takes a seat. Punter puts his head down, drives in. Good effort. And Quali almost coming up with a good hustle from Balderossi, but not able to save it in bounds. Traoré over to Saron, who, boy, beautiful shot on the baseline. Adadori. And Saron again with the rebound. Green. Over to Long, that's how he earns his living, and he buries the 3. Mistake by Virtus to give him any daylight. Exceptional shooter from deep. Now Punter answers immediately with a 2. Pass to Traoré, good play, but Traoré doesn't finish. Adadori. No, they are not calling, they're not saying that the shot was good. That was Long's three-pointer. Here's Aradori, and this time makes it right in the grill of Long. Oh, a little razzle-dazzle from Mike Green. This time Traore is able to finish with his favorite left hand. Back to a three-point game. Aradori almost the same spot and gets the shooter's roll. And now the ball. Good defense by Payola to knock it away. Payola for three. Traore wisely bats it away. Now the pass up to Green. He flies in, and the foul called on punter. He fouls his former Ike teammate. It looked like Aradori was doing a little bit of trash talking to Long before that turnover. It's going to be a fight for 40 minutes for this SIG team. And you can see they're living and dying on every possession, every point. Traore also out of the game now. Yusuf a foul back in. And Virtus into the lane too early. It's the motion of Green. He kind of hesitates. Watch. He'll hesitate right there. And that gets a lot of people in the lane too early. And he makes it. I don't know if that's by design to try to trick the other team to get into the lane early. Valderossi going up against Eddie. And great hustle from both teams. Eddie beats Morea to the ball. Collins had a good first quarter. Now he's fouled. Oh, he just raised his elbow. And he called Aradori. And I think the referee may have spotted it. That'll be an unsportsmanlike. Watch this. Watch his left elbow. I don't think he actually called him. I think what they'll do is they'll look at this. From that angle, it looked like he did catch him. Aradori called for the foul. Well, they're not going to call it, so it didn't look like it was unsportsmanlike from the camera angle underneath the basket. From the other one, it did. Aradori was certainly asking for it. It's a physical game right now, these teams, and Aradori is a competitor. He is a great player, but also right now he's engaged in a lot of trash talk. Won't be surprised if he gets this one and goes to the basket on Collins. Quick pass inside. Baldirossi and fires Morea. Beautiful play. Baldirossi seeing Morea come in from the baseline. Collins senses the challenge. Oh boy, just took his time and scored. Former first-round pick in the NBA. By the Knicks at number 29. Aradori misses, foul with the rebound. Now Saron. Virtus got back on D, so he decided to hold it up and give it back to Mike Green. And then Mike Green almost threw it away. Great play by Canton Saron to get it back and to get it to Jarrell Eddy, who hits his third three-pointer of the game. and SIG Strasbourg have reclaimed the lead.
Every time they go inside, they have a shooter here. Don't help. We stay with him. Match with shooter.
19 rebounds for SIG, just 7 for Virtus. SIG getting after it. Strasbourg also with his 10 assists. But Jarrell Eddy really providing some offense tonight for Strasbourg. That's his latest 3. And also Saron, don't forget, that looked like it was a turnover heading in the other direction, and he snuck in. He saw what was happening, got the ball quickly. Taylor steps back, and Morea with a moving screen on Mike Green. Ooh. Leaned into him a little bit. Second foul on Yannick Morea. Foul called. Block gives it back to Virtus. 3:40 remaining in the first half. So Tony Taylor back in and takes on Yusuf a foul. And Morea, boy, he is playing tall down low, isn't he? It's an offensive foul, Yusuf a foul. That's how they lost possession. And foul, catches it with an alley-oop. Here's Punter. Now Collins. Leans into it. Showing great leadership tonight as well, Marty Collins. Martin gets in and passes it back, but Martin was fouled by Collins. Traoré back in the game. By out, and Kravic comes in for the first time tonight. Well, it was a very interesting signing to be able to prize Morea away from Pauk, because you would not think he's a player that Pauk would want to lose. He's clearly brought a different dimension. to the Virtus team is just added more size on that front line, which has already got decent size. Oh, Collins, nice dribbling. Hands it over to Saron. It's a terrific job in all respects tonight. Saron hands it off to Collins. Spins, puts it up on the baseline. Good job by Martin defensively. Going up against Traoré, and boy, he is tough tonight. Morea, 10 points. Nothing else Traoré could have done on that occasion. Virtus back in front. Collins over to Saron for three. At the front of the iron. Now Taylor, and Collet, not surprisingly, calling for a timeout on the next dead ball. Kravic. And rejected. Ooh, some contact. Well, timeout has been called. Basketball can be a physical sport sometimes, and Kravic knows that only too well after that play. SIG losing a little bit of their rhythm. And Collet calling timeout. See the two-point shooting.
Jarel, okay, you go.
Look at this. What can Traoré do here? Nothing more. Look, Correa just takes his time. He just has that wonderfully beautiful soft release. He was a big star, Morea, when he played in the NCAA with Southern Methodist University, SMU, for Larry Brown. And he's already got, he was Angola's leading scorer at the last FIBA Basketball World Cup. He'll be at the World Cup this summer with Angola. Now then Kravic. Quite possibly the most interesting free throw motion in the Basketball Champions League. If it works for him, it works. On the season, he shoots 71.4%. That's acceptable, definitely. And he makes both. Now Morea out, and now Adori back in. Lang brings it up, almost a turnover. Tony Taylor reaching in, almost coming up with a steal. Eddie. Probably a shot Strasbourg would settle for. He's been on tonight. Pick and roll, but Taylor takes the jumper, and Traoré grabs the rebound. If they hurry up, they'll get 2 for 1, maybe. They'll take their time. Oh, he's going to dump it back low to Traoré. And then Lang drives in. Great play by Strasbourg. Well, Virtus being very aggressive with their defense, coming out on the perimeter, so Lang did the right thing of putting the ball on the deck and going to the basket. Wonder if maybe Collet might consider putting on full court press here if Long makes the second. It would appear not. Teams head to the bench as Virtus called timeout to draw up a final, what they would want to be a final play.
Only one shot. Wait. Kevin. Goodbye. Tony. Reyes.
Good free throw shooting tonight.
Go left. Kevin.
Great crowd in Strasbourg tonight. See the block shot numbers. SIG knowing they need to win tonight and then next week, really, to get to the playoffs. To have a chance to get to the playoffs. Mike Green wondering if he'll make it to the playoffs for the third consecutive year. He's been there with Pinar Karsiaka. He's been there with Ike last season. Now here he is with Strasbourg. Tony Taylor. Guarded by Bayhurst. Now over to Adadori. Shot clock winding down. Adadori. Backs up Green. Misses the shot. And good defensive stand right at the end for SIG Strasbourg. And Drill Eddy walks off the court, having led his team with 10 points. Kevin Punter has 11. Pietro Adadori 9. And Segafredo Virtus Bologna leading it 44-43 at halftime. Well, those are the shooting numbers. And look at the rebounds. That's interesting, isn't it? 22-11 advantage for Strasbourg. 6 on the offensive glass. They've got 11 assists, but Virtus have got 7 steals to none for Strasbourg. Strasbourg with those 8 turnovers. Their pressure not really causing any problems against Virtus. So Collins also with 10 points tonight for Strasbourg, along with Eddy. And Long with 7, Punter 11. Moreira, who has been hugely impressive, has 10 points for Virtus and 9 points for Adadori. So it's game on, folks, here in Strasbourg. Enjoy the halftime highlights. We'll be right back for the start of the third quarter.
Partenaire de la SIG Strasbourg, la Grand Basketball Champions League, et salue l'équipementier officiel de la SIG Adidas, ainsi que les promoteurs d'aujourd'hui, on n'oubliera pas les plus de 200 entreprises privées, partenaires elles aussi, officielles de la SIG Strasbourg, et présentes ce soir. La SIG salue également ses partenaires institutionnels, la ville de Strasbourg, l'Eurométropole, la région Grand Est, le conseil départemental du Bas. Et on salue les 300 étudiants de l'EM Strasbourg. N'oubliez pas la boutique officielle de la SIG avec les tenues, les maillots, les écharpes, les goodies. Aux couleurs de la SIG Strasbourg ainsi que le livre Plus près des étoiles qui retrace les 90 ans du club de la SIG qui est en vente à la boutique officielle de la SIG ici au Rhénus. Et puis n'oubliez pas, avant les matchs, à la mi-temps et après les matchs, le food truck vous attend près de l'entrée principale du Rhénus. Le food truck de notre partenaire La Friture, c'est l'authentique fripe. Rendez-vous ici au Rhénus, ce sera le samedi 2 février 20h pour l'affiche de la JP SIG Strasbourg sur les baskets. Samedi 2 février à 20h au Rhénus. Réservez vos places sur notre site officiel www.sigstrasbourg.fr, rubrique billetterie en ligne ou à la boutique de la SIG Strasbourg au Rhénus du lundi au vendredi de 9h à 12h et de 14h à 18h, ou encore mieux avec l'application SIG Strasbourg sur votre smartphone. Vous renseignez vos identifiants digitiques et vous avez directement vos billets sur votre application SIG Strasbourg.
(44-43), Segafredo Virtus Bologna on top of SIG Strasbourg here at the Arena Sport in Strasbourg. This is a must-win game for SIG. is they try to get into the playoffs. They came into this game day in trouble, needing to leapfrog both Neptunus Klaipėda and Filou Ostend. Ostend have lost tonight, and they fell at Besiktas. And Neptunus will be in action tomorrow at Prometheus. So if SIG were to get a win tonight, things could look a lot different. They would improve to 7-6, which would be the same record as Filou Ostend. Filou Ostend would still be above them in the standings because of their head-to-head. But if Neptunus were to lose, they would fall to 6-7. And if SIG Strasbourg were to win, they would be 7-6. And that would set things up quite nicely for that last week for SIG. If you look at, if you want to see who they actually, let's see here. SIG in their last game of the season will play against Ostend. So you can see why. You can see why that would be rather tasty. That game would be at Ostend in neighboring Belgium. Well, welcome back, folks. Second half underway here. Virtus Bologna, first place in Group D, trying to deliver a blow to SIG. A miss. Tony Taylor with the rebound. Mbaye misses. And Martin with the rebound. And in it goes, and the alley-oop is dunked home by Yusuf Afau. Good pass from Collins. A loss tonight, Strasbourg have no chance of moving on to the playoffs. And little runner from Punter puts Virtus Bologna back in front. Collins backs up Martin. Boy, that is quality right there. Collins playing under control but aggressively, knowing he's got to make some tough shots. And Punter leans in and misses. So again, another chance for SIG. So Yusuf Afau was fouled by Martin. Mike Green takes the pick, rolls. Oh, again, Yusuf Afau just goes in. He knows the ball is going to be coming up. That's effectively a pass from Green going off the backboard. Virtus losing sight of foul a couple of times now. Vincent Collet looks like he's up for it tonight. The white badge of courage being worn by Jarrell Eddy. Taylor. And Collins reaches in and is called for a foul. Foul was actually called on Mike Green. Cerrone defending Martin, giving him a taste of his own medicine. Then Taylor puts up a three. Morea with the rebound. And looked like he got a lot of ball on that one. Yeah, that was a pass. Definitely from Green. But it was listed as a missed layup. I think it was a pass. So Yannick Morea, who's been a thorn in the side tonight of this Strasbourg team, takes advantage. Makes both free throws. Strasbourg up by a point. It's going to be, you would imagine, close to the end. Eddie drives in, a beautiful handoff. What a great play. I tell you, SIG Strasbourg want to get Yusuf a foul involved. And if it's Green, if it's Eddie, they are getting the ball to the big fella. It's probably what Collet was saying, the foul on Mbaye. Probably what Collet was telling Youssoufa as they went off to the changing room at halftime. We're going to get you the ball, big fella. Be ready for it. Here it comes again. And it looked like he shuffled his feet just a little and also took a knock on the knee. Oh, good play. Possibly a tough position to pass it to. No, yeah, no, it was okay. Yeah, he just traveled. Morea, boy. Time and time again, Yannick Morea just playing under so much control tonight. Puts his team back in front. 12 points for him. Great drive by Green now. Fouled by Tony Taylor. Former George Washington standout. Played at Banvard last season. Really showed his quality there. That's why Virtus snapped him up. Mbaye's had a tough game by his lofty standards tonight. And Green gets it to fall. Green's had some struggles at the line. Takes his time and makes both. He's now 3 of 4 at the stripe. Kravitz back in, going at Eddie, who's trying to keep him out of the lane. Kravitz spins, gets it to Morea, gets swatted by Yusuf, a foul. He won that battle. And now they dump it again to Youssoufa, and he is fouled by Taylor. Here he is on this end of the floor saying no. And then at this end, okay, so Tony Taylor picks up the foul. He has 3 fouls. And he takes a seat. But they've had some great play from Payola tonight, who's come into the game. Marty Collins takes the bump. Oh, great job from Foul again. No, he doesn't make the shot. And this time it's Virtus. Punter open. Long rebound snatched by Kravich. Good hands from Yusuf, a foul. Boy, he's a different player tonight. He's really executing the game plan. He's not picking up silly fouls. And Adodori replaces Martin. Terrific depth in this Virtus team. Here's Adodori, steps into it. Right off the bench, drills the jumper. And Virtus back in front. Collins goes to work on Adodori. We've seen that tonight. Oh, he dumps it again to Foul, who just turns and scores. Beautiful execution from Collins and Foul. Foul comes up, gets his hands up. Adodori misses the three. Green takes it all the way. Foul there for the follow. Puts it up. Misses. Kravich with the rebound. Kravich going up against Eddie. Turns, puts it up. Fouls. Very active on both ends of the floor. You can see why he's so popular here in Strasbourg. He's giving it everything tonight. Eddie. Under 4 minutes in the third quarter. Moreira. That's the advantage he's got probably over Foul, but he misses and Foul with the rebound. Collins turns. He's got Foul underneath. Is he going to get it to him again? He takes it back. He puts it up and in. Oh, terrific, terrific basketball game, folks. What a game. Their basketball Champions League lives depend on it. Strasbourg, and Virtus not making it, not going to give anything away tonight, boy. They're going to have to earn it. Adodori, fouled by Collins with the reach. Those good hands by Kravich, but Collins got it back. They wanted to travel, but Collins had let the ball go. Oh, it's close. He looked closer on that angle. Maybe he hadn't. So Foul and Collins both take a seat. Traoré has to play big as well as Inzuli. Punter. And Traoré with the rebound. 11 points, 15 rebounds tonight for Big Youssoufa. Give that man some applause. He's working. Traoré now. At the line. The dump down low. Baldirossi was patient. Puts it up. Cerrone has to watch with the push-off. Paiola's a real pest defensively. Cerrone drives in. What a tough move! The Belgian sensation scores and will go to the line. Well, this is a very good. I know they did not call a foul there. Nevertheless, a terrific finish. Out of Dory for three. Good. Tie game. Cerrone gets it across midcourt just in the nick of time. Inzuli goes baseline. Great defense, Kevin Punter. Terrific defense. Ball batted out by Kravic. So Cerrone takes a seat. Meanwhile, that last shot by Ardori has taken him to 14 points. Both he and Moreira leading Virtus. 14 points also for Collins for Strasbourg. Here's Long, open, good! This game being played at a high level tonight, both these teams. Ardori again, this time on the baseline. And the Italy international with a hand in his face from Eddie. Drills the shot. He's got a game-high 16 points. Green looks for Inzuli. He's got it. Eddie. Almost lost it. Gets it back to Green. Shot clock winding down. Green puts it up at the line. Oh, that's a tough shot. He had no other option. That was big time from Mike Green. Ardori again takes the bump. No call. Ball goes out of bounds off Kravic. Ardori says there was some contact. Look at Green. He sees the shot clock winding down. He puts it up. He drills it. Final 20 seconds of the third quarter. It's a humdinger. Inzuli. Final seconds ticking off the clock. Inzuli gets in the lane. Over to Long, wide open, good! How in the world is they going to leave Nicola Long open? Shoots better than 50% from three-point range. Conde raises both hands to signal the three-pointer. Long wanting the foul as well, but he doesn't get it. SIG Strasbourg lead it by 5, heading to the final quarter. Well, it's tight, folks. 5 threes for each team. Both teams making their free throws. Both teams similar inside the arc as well. But it's SIG Strasbourg winning it by 5. Pontongulni in the game. Number 18 for Strasbourg. Here he is guarding Balderossi. Balderossi backs him up. Passes back out to Aradori, who's had the hot hand. Now Gomi switched on him. Aradori launches a three. Glances off the rim. Grazes the rim rather than Inzoli across midcourt. Strasbourg with a chance to open up their biggest lead of the game. Green. Good D from Martin. Inzoli looks for space. He's going to take on Balderossi. Drives in. Ball batted out of bounds with 0.7 seconds, on the shot clock. Well, Inzoli was hoping for a foul, but those Virtus defenders got in there and made a wall that he simply could not shoot over. I don't know if there's an issue with a timeout or who called it, but anyway, Strasbourg's biggest lead has been 5 points. Virtus have led by as many as 6, but it's been a tight game. You want to see how much time is on the clock? That's what they were telling Collet. Oh yeah, this should be about 1.1 or 1.2 seconds on the shot clock. That's my prediction. I'll put about 1.1, if not 1.2. .3, did he say? Well, they say every second matters, and also every 1/10 of a second matters. Oh, I think Collet's complaining there should be 2 seconds on the shot clock, but I think they've looked at it. Looks pretty clear to me. It was about 1.2, 1.3, 1.1. Yeah, 1.3. I think that's right. So it's got to be a catch and shoot. And that's exactly what they do with Long. And now great defense by Inzoli, hustling back. Knocked the ball out of bounds. Intended for Aradori, the pass. Look at that. Make a good cornerback. a good safety. In the game, you have to keep an eye on him with the pick and rolls. Taylor's also back with his 3 fouls. He puts it up. Nobody boxes out Morea. He misses the shot, however. A break for SIG. Great energy in the arena. Traore drives in, scores over Morea. Biggest lead of the game now for Strasbourg. Out of Dory. Lang with another rebound. And if you're Strasbourg, you have to keep playing hard. Don't ease up. It's been part of their problem, I think, over the course of the years. They lose some of their focus. Taylor, meanwhile, reaches in and picks up his 4th foul. Timeout on the floor, 7-point lead for Strasbourg, and they have got possession.
Hey! Now we call arms up! Arms up!
On threes for each team.
For Bologna! We call arms up! Hey, we spin the game now! Spin the game now! Put the ball and play it! Let's go!
Back to live action. Bounce pass to Traore, who turns, puts it up, and again, back-to-back baskets for that man right there, the veteran. Biggest lead of the game, 9 points for Strasbourg. Can they deliver the knockout punch? Kravic's attempt off the top of the backboard. Green brings it forward quickly. Lang, open! Eddie crashes the boards. Traore gets it, passes it back outside. And Long, they pass it around. Now Enzoli decides to pass it back. So the patience. Will it be too much patience? And then Traore loses the ball out of bounds, but with 0.2 seconds. I think if Morea just let that ball go, it would have been Virtus' ball. So he was penalized for hustling. Ball intercepted by Mbaye. They knew that was coming. Wouldn't be something if he really turned it up a notch here to beat his national team coach, Collet, having struggled in the first 3 quarters. Punter. Long with the foul. Don't forget how Virtus Bologna were at home last week and trailed Besiktas. The foul's the 3rd on Long. They trailed Besiktas by 22 points, but then they charged back in the 4th quarter and had a chance to win it at the death, but did not. Punter. Boy, what a big game player he is. 15 points. Enzoli, go! (71-61). Taylor over to Punter for 3. Eddie battles, and Taylor comes away with the rebound. Mbaye, good! Well, we talked about the possibility. Cole thinking, oh no, but at least he's in my national team. Into foul and the turnover. Yusuf a foul back in the game after a long rest. He played very well in the third quarter. 9 steals now for Virtus. Punter, another 3. Yusuf a foul goes up. So does Moreira, and the ball ends up with Eddie. Green. Inzuli, same spot as last time! Goodness gracious! They're gonna have to rename that place on the floor Inzuli Place. Florent Petrus and Jacques Alinguet, the Strasbourg players, not in the lineup tonight, watching from behind the bench. Here's Aradori, he answers with a 3. We have got a barn burner going. You just know Bologna are not out of it. Well, they say that was a 2 for Aradori, who now has 18 points. In no way, shape, or form do you write off Virtus' chances right now. Green takes the shot. It's too hard. Mbaye with the rebound. He gets it to Taylor, quickly up to Moreira. Aradori steps into it. He was fouled before the shot by Inzuli, who hit those 2 clutch 3-pointers. Now he comes out for a breather after picking up his 3rd foul. Look at him. I have to say, this has to be the most impressive performance of the season for SIG Strasbourg. They could not have been any more focused and played with any more sense of urgency than what they have shown tonight. They have been just what the doctor ordered for these SIG fans. But the question is, can they close it out over the final 4.5 minutes? Marty Collins reaches in, knocks it away from Taylor, and then goes in, scores with a layup. Collins has been right at the top of the list in terms of leading the way for SIG tonight. Tremendous game for him. Mbaye, goes to his left and foul, stepped in his path, but never mind, he says. Mbaye drills it on the baseline. Collins gets it to foul, and Moreira was waiting for him, ties up Yusuf a foul. I think that strategy of dumping it down low to the big guy, they're ready for it now. Fortunately for SIG, they had possession, but there's only 5 on the shot clock. They don't reset it. So at least Virtus gets some reward. And the ball goes out of bounds. The pass from Collins to Long. Long way to go, folks. Long just didn't, I guess he didn't see it coming. Didn't know he was shielded. Taylor pulls up. Oh, big time rebound from Yusuf a foul. Collins in the paint. Offensive foul. It's been a push on foul. No, it was Collins for leading with his forearm. Oh yeah, he pushed off Taylor. I didn't see it in live action. There he is. Let's go down to the huddle.
8 points. Now we score around 6. He's wrong. Now we call Pietro, Tony, Yannick, Amat.
There's Alinge and Ferron Pietrus. Well, what a thrill for those kids to be able to talk to the two Strasbourg players, especially Pietrus, who for so long was a member of that great France national team. Now he's like, let's wave to the camera. And now let's get out of here, kid. We got to watch the rest of the game. Punter coming right out of the timeout. Useful foul with the rebound. And now starting to look like it might just be SIG's night. They will live to fight another day. Almost a turnover. Serron gets it and turns it over into the hands of Taylor. Quickly to Punter. Surprised Punter didn't just pull up and shoot it. And Baye has it. Boy, Eddie flies in for the rebound. Taylor has fouled out of the game. I think Green does a great job there of also selling the foul. For my money, Tony Taylor's one of the top players, one of the top guards in the league. He's terrific. But we will watch the rest of this from the bench. And not for the first time this season are Virtus staring at a potential two-game losing streak in the Basketball Champions League. But on the other hand, you know, sometimes losses can be good and they can help you focus. But as good as this team is, you know, 4 losses in the Basketball Champions League, well, it's not really a disgrace, is it? You know, you got to be ready to play every week. They've lost a couple of tough games. Now the turnover, a couple of turnovers now for Strasbourg, keeping those hopes alive for Virtus. Aradori, Moreira. They want to get Aradori a look. He takes a 3. Good! 5-point game. Yogi Berra said it ain't over till it's over, folks. And it certainly ain't over. Serron almost turning it over with Martin in pursuit. Three fouls on Yannick Moreira. Well, it's just got to be a celebration of basketball tonight, folks. I mean, this has been a great game. Collins gets in the lane, puts it up and in. Now Virtus need to strike quick. Mbaye behind the arc. Ball bounces out to Martin. Aradori, that's the man with a hot hand, but it rims out. Now the clock's starting to become the enemy for Virtus. And Green fouled by Aradori as he got into the lane. 3 fouls on Audadori, and Green makes the first one. Remember, Neptunus are at Prometheus tomorrow. Tonight, Strasbourg will leapfrog Neptunus into 5th place. They need to get into the top 4 to reach the playoffs. Mbaye, it's not been his best game tonight, but they were playing against a team that was definitely feeling the sense of urgency. 1:12 to go, 8-point game. Still not over. Punter floats in. Oh boy, he is tough. Eddie gets it back to Saron. And now the ball taken away by Martin. Flies in. There for the follow was Mbaye. It's never going to be easy, is it? It's back to a 4-point lead. The Virtus pressure has been a problem that SIG haven't solved.
Et c'est Jaël. Mardi qui fait la remise en jeu, ok? Donc il faut que
look at that. That is a telling stat. They've got the 18 assists, but they've also got 17 turnovers.
After, loopet, simple loopet from the beginning, okay? And I would like, when Mac or Mardi play it, okay? That 2 guys opposite, Jaël behind, because they do play well.
12 steals for Virtus.
You will find the big, take it.
And leading the way in that regard, well, Audadori, Martin, Mbaye, Moreira, and Taylor each with 2 steals. And that's the kind of defense that will always give them a chance to win games. You can never relax. It looked like Strasbourg might have just about done it, but clearly they have not. What happens, though, is they advance the ball after the timeout. Now they've got to be able to get the ball in, and you got to get it into somebody's hands so they can hit some free throws. Now Punter guarding his former Ike teammate, Green. They get it to foul, and I'm not sure about that. Boy, Strasbourg need to stop now, don't they? Virtus, Punter drives in. It's a 2-point game. Suddenly, Strasbourg's season in jeopardy. Can they get to the finish line? Virtus in the same situation as last week. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Will they get it done tonight? An improbable comeback. Boy, foul might have gotten away with a fall. Oh, and Collins, big time, hits the mid-ranger. Four-point lead, 16 seconds remaining.
Now, we stop, we whap, press. If we see the ball, okay, or foul, okay. And after, I have a timeout. So go. It's the last one.
See the shooting numbers. Don't forget SIG Strasbourg. Will they foul to prevent a three-pointer? Well, Virtus doesn't have to go for a 3 at this stage. Boy, that was, Collins has been clutch tonight. 20 points in 25 minutes. Couldn't have done any more, in all honesty. He's been terrific. But so have a lot of the players for both of these teams. But I said earlier tonight, I haven't seen Strasbourg play this well all season. And that's even with the turnover issues they've had against this Virtus defense. Collins also had 20 points earlier against Virtus Bologna. So he likes to sign the sight of this team. The pass to Morea, punter for three, good! Go, man! 13.3 seconds remaining. He hasn't had enough, has he? He remembers last week when he had that chance to win it and he missed the three. He wants the ball in his hands.
Hey, Hardy, you get the ball.
Well,
Okay, we advance.
I did pose the
Every
question,
foul,
would they
I push shooter on purpose, okay?
would they foul?
Pareil. Ali, set the screen for Mike. They will deny. Ali on the way.
Okay, we switch up. If we speed, we go. If we don't speed, then the foul. Remember, after, I have no timeout. So,
If you had fouled him before, he wouldn't have taken the three. Well, but also you want time to go off the clock. So what do you do if you're Strasbourg? Well, you play defense, and punter hits a very long three, which he is able to do. He's 3 of 8 from deep tonight. But Strasbourg did have a foul to give there. They didn't use it. And now, you heard it, if they don't get the steal, they'll foul. The way they've been playing defense, I would not put it past them getting the steal. And almost, and Traore able to get it, a ball that was there for the taking. It was there for the taking for Virtus. Almost a turnover. If you watch that inbounds pass again, it was almost passed in hope that somebody would catch it. And the only other thing is now all the pressure in the world is on Eddie. Nicholas Long had the ball, but he got rid of it. So Eddie, who's made his only free throw tonight, goes to the line. Both teams have shot it very well tonight, but hitting his free throws in this situation right here is about as tough as it gets. Eddie takes a deep breath and makes the first one. Nothing to it, he says. Don't listen to the commentator. But Nicholas Long had hit 90% of his free throws on the season coming into tonight's game, and he'd hit 2 of 2. I'm almost surprised he didn't hold on to the ball, but I guess he also risks turning it over. Eddie, boy, that was clutch. Well, we've been here so many times before, folks. First of all, Strasbourg do have a foul to give. So they need to make sure they use it without fouling, without committing an unsportsmanlike. Virtus cannot call timeout. You need to foul him now. And they did foul him with 2.5 seconds to go. So good job by Saron. Now you have another foul. Do you play defense or do you put him on the line and make him make the free throws? And I would suggest you foul and you put him on the line. But with 2.5 seconds left, it's tempting, isn't it, not to commit the foul? You give away a two-pointer, you just guard the perimeter. If you're not gonna, but what you definitely do not do is foul the three-point shooter. You can just give him the pass into the lane. It doesn't matter. Don't even guard him inside. Just let him catch it. Nope, don't foul, don't foul. Boy, that was tough. And Collins, he got his hands up. And if you remember in the first half, Mbaye actually committed the foul on Eddie in that very spot when Eddie made a three-pointer and then went to the line for a 4-point play. Boy, he was walking a fine line, was Collins, to get the hand up there. Now I think they want to see if there's any time left. Well, Virtus had to go for the 3, so that was the right strategy. I'll say that is a dangerous game to play if you're Collins. First of all, defending it like that, because as we've seen tonight, the referees are not shy about calling that foul. But that would be a tough spot to call it in, that's for sure. And it's perhaps fitting that Collins makes the play like that, because he has been utterly sensational tonight. So he's saying with 0.3 seconds left, you can only score, it has to leave your hands immediately. So this is going to be a very difficult shot. Interesting that it's Punter who's inbounding it. You would think he would be the guy that might be able to make the shot. He's going to have to pass it over Yusuf, a foul. Oh, they got it, though. What an attempt that was. Not a bad one at that. In that situation, Yannick Morea caught it and released it in time, but it was short. And SIG Strasbourg, just like Besiktas last week, escaped with a narrow win over Segafredo Virtus Bologna, 83-80. And boy, what a build-up this is going to be now for their final week in the regular season. Well, it was a bit niggly at times, especially in the first half, but these two teams got after it tonight. I mean, this, whatever they paid tonight to watch this game, they didn't pay enough, because that delivered big time. You know, the difference being that the pressure was not on Segafredo, Virtus Bologna, to get the result, because they've already qualified for the playoffs. But the pressure was definitely on that team right there. They had to come out and get a result. And I can tell you, folks, I've watched SIG Strasbourg 3 seasons in the Basketball Champions League, and that is quite possibly the best performance, most focused performance that they have delivered in an important situation. Their backs were against the wall, and they came out tonight and showed what they can accomplish. Well, all bets are off who's going to make it to the playoffs in that 4th position from this group. Ostend lost a tough one tonight at Besiktas. So it's going to be Ostend at 7-6. Ahead of SIG Strasbourg at 7-6. Ostend right now in 4th place. And guess what, folks? Those two teams meet next week in Belgium. Pack your bags, get your tickets if you're from Strasbourg, and fly to Belgium, or even drive. Or if you want to ride your bike, you can leave now and probably make it in plenty of time. That is going to be the game of the week. That will be sensational. But also Neptunus, don't forget, they will play tomorrow, and they can also improve to 7-6 for the win. So those are the numbers. The big numbers will be the 18 assists, but also the 12 steals and the 45 rebounds for SIG Strasbourg. It's hard to believe they out-rebounded Virtus by that margin. 17 turnovers for Strasbourg, but all of those steals for Virtus. And, wow, foul, 17 rebounds for the big fella. But he also had 5 turnovers. but that was one of the better games that I've seen from Yusuf Afal tonight. You got to tip your hat to Jarrell Eddy tonight. He had those clutch free throws there in the waning moments of the game. And just feast your eyes on some of these highlights here, because that was right at the end of the third quarter. Just a real joy to have been able just to watch this game tonight. What a crowd. I mean, everybody deserves plaudits tonight, and even Virtus, because they've already qualified, but they came out and they gave it everything tonight. And Punter certainly enhanced his reputation tonight, which, to be honest, didn't need enhancing. Everybody knows he's easily, I would say, one of the top 5 players in this competition. Nzuli showed what he was made of with a couple of back-to-back three-pointers right there. And then that was a huge play. Collins stealing the ball from Taylor and driving in for the layup. And it was right about that point where you felt like SIG Strasbourg had this game in hand. They were going to go ahead and win this thing. But Virtus had other ideas. Mbaye, tough shot on the baseline, the France International. Then Aradori hit one of his many big shots on the night. That great Virtus defense, giving them opportunities right at the end to get closer. And then this play, Collins. So with 1:43 left, that helped his team breathe a little bit easier. Going off one foot, one leg. But that defense that we talked about with Martin driving in, and the putback by Mbaye, who played great in the fourth quarter. That was less than a minute to go, and the SIG Strasbourg fans were sweating it out at the end. But here are the standings. So Ostend have actually climbed tonight because they've already played a game more than Prometheus, so they get that point for participation. They're at 7-6, Strasbourg at 7-6, and Neptunus, who are in action tomorrow night, are also at 6-6. They'll either be 7-6 tomorrow after their game at Prometheus, or 6-7. But gosh knows, what a great week in the Basketball Champions League. Thanks for watching, folks.